Hey, welcome back, gamers. This is Cryptic Gaming, and you are watching Redneck Paradise. So, we were formerly Banished Souls. Banished Souls community is still going, so if that's something you're interested in, let me know. We'll kick you an invite. Community's still going really strong, especially on Skull and Bones. A lot of guys, we've been kind of waiting for year 2 to finally arrive, and it is here. We're going to go over some of these patch notes that they have given us, and there is a lot of stuff to unload. Now, I'm not sure if all this is coming out in Season 1 or if this is going to be year 2, but this is the showcase that they've told us about. So, first off, we're going to be looking at some season resets. So, you're going to be getting some upgrade parts for your manufactories. So, 10 will give you 30 parts. If you up to 76 manufactories, you'll get 100 upgrade parts on there. Your territories, you'll get helm leases as well. Then, of course, your pieces of 8 for every 10,000 above 50,000 up to 300,000, you'll get 4 of your ship upgrade parts. So that'll be something to look forward to. We'll post that up there for you so you can see that. Let me take a screenshot of this for y'all real quick. Now, something else that you're going to notice, if you've been saving your chests that have pieces of 8, you may want to go ahead and use those and convert that stuff over to sovereigns now if you can, and spend it on what you can as far as your items that you're going to be using to upgrade ships and things, because you're only going to be able to carry 50,000 of those over of your pieces of 8. Now, originally they said they were getting rid of sovereigns and they wanted us to convert those into seasonal currencies, but they've changed that around, so you're going to be converting the seasonal currencies over to sovereigns, and you can do that over here. We'll show you the location. You're going to do that over here, Blackwood. So that's where you're going to be doing that at. He's going to have your little conversions over there, so you can do that. That way you can get that back into sovereigns. So it's kind of nice to see they're going to be keeping sovereigns as well. Now, let's see here. There's so much stuff to unpack here on this, guys. I wasn't originally going to do some videos, but I figured we'll go ahead and make some videos. And one of the great things about this, I'm going to post this one up on YouTube, but when it comes to more in-depth videos of what's going on, those are going to be released just to the Banished Souls community. For those who are interested in what that is the original community of Discord. So that's currently being ran by a bunch of the guys there. I've kind of pulled back and I'm looking to expand into more games, so I've revamped my YouTube channel, though we are still making content. And of course, like I say, we still have a very strong community over there that's been led up by, for those of you who have been over there, you'll know the guys who's been leading. They've been part of the crew since the beginning, and they do a great job over there. Okay, so now your silver is not going to be reset, so that's something that's pretty nice to see. That I think we all were kind of wondering what was going to happen with that, because we've seen a hard reset on silver in the past. So it's nice to see that they've decided to keep that going to where we're at. Alrighty, so this is going to be item ascension. This is something new that they're going to be doing. A prerequisite means that the player will need to be at least an infamy tier 9. They will be sending a mail to the mailbox. It says we will have to pick that up, and it's going to give us a quest that says Ascension and Modifications, that we're going to make our way to a blacksmith to unlock items for the Ascension feature. So for those who don't know where the mailbox is, we'll just walk back through the islands here. I know for some of us, like for myself, knocked out a lot of the pass, and we just basically kind of log in to grab sovereigns and stuff. So mailbox will be up here. That's where we're going to get that information. And if you're a infamy tier 9, you will then proceed over to the blacksmith to be here, and this is where you would pick up that mission line, which is going to start teaching you how to do modification slots on weapons, from what it sounds like. So it sounds like we're going to be able to do up to 3, potentially 4 different types of slots, which would be different types of damage on your weapons, which is great. Those were some things that we had seen early on for those who were pre-beta tests. Now, if you're wondering what pre-beta tests are, these were the early testings. Things were different. We had different sections of maps and things like that. We're going to see that starting to come out here in year 2, which will be for a different type of PvP than what you're used to. It's going to be more of a dedicated type of a server area. You're going to be seeing a lot of different features coming in as well. My guess is your larger ships, you're going to be able to earn a lot of those in those, and there'll be certain types of maps that you use those, and then there'll probably be some ships that you can actually use in the original PvE play versus everything maps, which is what we're currently in. So we're going to be seeing some changes with that. But we're going to go ahead. I'm going to take a screenshot of the new weapon tier. So you're going to have a rarity set on your ascension pack. It looks like you're going to have common, uncommon, and then rare, and then epic. And then you're going to have 4 slots on each of those as well. Says you're going to have to use essential modules, which will be refined materials, specialized materials, helm materials, among other things such as silver, pieces of 8s. It's going to unlock the modification slots for your weapons. Unlocking and modifying your slots is it's not going to be automatically granted. Something you got to earn, something you're going to have to buy, so something you're going to have to grind toward. It's going to give us something to grind. If you're familiar with MMO games and you say had a sword that had frost damage and lightning and fire and things like that, that's kind of what you're looking at being able to do with your cannons now. Okay. Then you're going to have a mythic difficulty, which is going to have a chance to obtain a final stand seasonal Sea Lord chest in World Tier 1 shallow waters. So my guess is what they're talking about, and again, we're not 100% certain, but there's going to be different world tiers. So this would be like a world tier. And then it sounds like there's going to be a world tier 1, a world tier 2, which would be cutthroat seeds. Sounds like you're going to be able to get this from Blackwood. You're going to be able to do some reforging of parts, upgrade parts. My guess is that's probably going to be furnitures and things. You're going to be able to upgrade those furnitures from tier 1 up to tier 2s. You're going to have world tier 2. Then you're going to end up with a world tier 3 later as well. Now, again, I don't know that that's going to all be released right at the beginning of year 2, or if that's going to be something that they spread out as a release. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to take these glasses off so I can read this guy. Sorry. We're going to have different types of weapons. Let's see here at the Reforge post. Rockets and demi cannons will have lesser variants to mod out from what it's saying here. Let's bring up, I won't go ahead and post up this little grid for you as well, just so you can kind of see what we're looking at. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of real in-depth information, but kind of want to talk, and show y'all some of this stuff up here. So we're going to be able to, it says reforging incendiaries on your common culverins will add fire damage as a percentage of weapon damage. As a result, weapons will henceforth be able to reforge amplified burning. So that's going to be nice to be able to add those things on there. Like maybe we have something that does a real good job, like demis do a great job of burning, but we want to add something to it. So we'll be able to add some extra effects to that from what it's sounding like. That's going to be pretty cool. And again, what you're going to be able to do with your weapons is going to depend on your infamy tier and what world tier you're in. So it's going to be something that, instead of just having a bunch of people that's going to be gathered together with an unbalanced player rank, it's going to have different worlds where it's going to be loading you into these worlds based off your rank from what it sounds like. Now, I don't know if that means that you're going to be able to have different ship ranks where you could be in like world 1 tier with certain ships, and then world 2 tier if all your ships will be tiered up based off your character. We'll have to wait and see how that's going to work. My guess is it's going to be based off of your ship, what ship you set as active. Okay, so again, so the world tiers, we're just going to read this. It said Shadow's treasure will be lost to the depths, but rumors will be fabled and artifacts persist. It said that the influence has weakened the boundaries between realms, opening the path to the domains of more powerful enemies, and in turn, greater opportunities and greater rewards. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how that is implemented into the game. Again, not sure if that means they're going to be opening up this area. It almost sounds like it's going to be for PvP at least. It's going to be a separate load, like it'll load you up in a queue, and then you'll be able to do different ship battles, PvP. There is rumor, and again, don't know when it's going to release, but the pirate battles that people have been wanting, hand-to-hand stuff, is going to be added into the game as well. I would imagine that the way that's going to be is a separate queue, and then it would load you onto islands and things. That's the way it was done pre-beta back in the day. It wasn't really so much as you would be battling out with ships. Now that could be something that they bring into a PvP aspect. If you go to a PvP world, maybe they have that where you have to do that instead of just cutscenes like you have here. We'll have to wait and see. There hasn't been a lot of information released, but they have teased that that's coming, so that'll be pretty cool. I think it's going to help the game a lot. That was the biggest gripe, I think, amongst most gamers, is that it did the cutscene and you couldn't really fight it out with other people. So it'd be interesting to see how that actually gets added in there. So these world tiers is what it's really sounding pretty awesome. So it sounds like you're going to have ship ranks 11 and up will be coming into your world tier 2 and weapon ascension. So if you already have like level 13 ships, now I don't know if they're going to be re-ranking some of these things or what, but I know most of the ships, if you brought those up to level 6 right now, you technically have a level 13 ship right now. So that'll be throwing most of you into that tier 2 already. So, and then whatever you end up adding on your weapons is going to increase that rank as well. So that'll be pretty interesting to see how that all kind of tiers out. And the higher tier that you're in, the more difficult your sea monsters and your ships are going to be as well. So for those who were saying, well, the map's just too easy, it's going to put you into a map where it's going to be harder. For those who were complaining about it was too hard, it's going to be having a map for you where it's not quite as hard. So, some people are a little more dedicated to a grind than others, and maybe they don't want quite as intense of an adventure. So, if you keep your ships at a low level, you're going to be able to enjoy that. But if you're like, most of the guys in the group, they want to grind everything they can, it's going to be even bigger. So we just got a pass thing up here, 30 minutes. Looks like then the maintenance will start. It's planned for 3 hours. My guess is it's probably will take longer than that because, like I say, we've seen the big updates in the past, and usually there's a few things that'll come up. So looks like quite a bit of stuff. Looks like we're going to see some increased reload speeds on ships. We're going to see some increased acceleration and deceleration of ships. We're going to see some better resource payouts. We're going to see some severities change on your cannon types. We're going to be seeing the, again, World Tier 2. It says you're going to be changing that at the main menu, so you can do Cutthroat Seas, which is going to then take and change some things. And it sounds like you will start at Talak Panjara or St. Anne Port, La Pont Muet. We'll have to wait and see what that's going to look like. But sounds like you get to actually check what it is you want to do, and then you build your ships up to that. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how that works out on this game, guys. And again, this is just reading off the notes. So there are a ton of notes here, so we're probably going to miss some. I'm probably going to miss some things in the video, but so we'll be coming up with some more information on it and a lot of how-tos and build videos and stuff. Again, a lot of folks enjoyed, but like I say, that's going to be one of those things. I hadn't really intended on doing a lot of streaming of the content. I like to just enjoy playing the game, and it takes a lot of time away from that. But there are quite a few guys that like to watch those videos in our group. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know down in the comments. We'll get you invited over and be posting videos. We've got a few guys that's going to be streaming their content in more in-depth things on certain aspects of the game. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I'm interested in right now, like just different games I've been playing, and then of course been waiting for this year 2 content to kick off. So we're finally here, it looks like, and I'm excited about it. Sounds like all the guys are excited about it. Everyone's been we've all been kind of pulling together, just kind of waiting to see when this all gets released here. And we're going to go ahead and do a little harvest here real quick. So I'm just kind of grabbing what 8s I can. Like I said, spent all my sovereigns, but I'll come in today, just been kind of harvesting this one little area. It's all I captured. That's where I'm going to start it off. I've saved all of my open leases and stuff that I've been grabbing. That way I can come in here and grab these types of areas where you have the auto collect. And that's what I'm going to start off with, is doing auto collects. Probably grab the red isle again, and then just do a few auto collect areas in the game, and just kind of go from there and see how it goes. But a lot of great information. So now there's supposed to be some new ships. I've heard some rumors. I don't know when it's coming, but there's supposed to be a frigate, which will be a larger vessel that's coming. Now I don't know exactly when that's going to be coming, but it sounds like we're getting some large hull vessels. There's going to be some vessel types that you have to earn in PvP and your higher ranking tier 2 worlds as well. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on, as far as, we'll be posting that information as we can, and again, a lot of that information will get posted into our group. But we'll probably, I imagine we'll probably release some of it to the public after a while. But I don't really want to give too much information out there on some of it. So it looks like the lightning storms are changing. This is awesome. Okay, lightning will now strike in stormy weather. That was one of the beta world back in the day when you were in those exhaustively huge storms. Lightning could actually strike your ship and like destroy your mast and things like that. You would limp back into, or sink you down beneath the seas. So those are going to be some pretty awesome things that they're adding back into it. And again, that's going to be things that will be added into those tier 2 worlds. It's not going to be something that's going to be any easier. The higher level of tier you're in, the more complicated the game becomes. Which to me, this is really awesome. I mean, it sounds like we got a new epic demi cannon coming out, Decline Carto, which is going to be freaking awesome from the looks of this thing on here. It's got Combustion 3 on there, and adds an additional 30% of explosive damage to it as well. So for those of you who are like me and like that fire and that explosive damage, that's going to be fantastic to have on there. We're going to have some new armor, looks like. Some pretty cool armor that's coming out from what it sounds like here. So there will be an upgrade level 7 to the ship. It says it's now available at the master work kit is required. So I don't know if that means it's available now. Like I say, I haven't really been messing too much in the full. I think it only goes up to level 6 right now. Apologize for any cracking we're getting here. I bumped my microphone here. Quickest way to find out is to jump over here to the ship, right? Upgrade. No, doesn't look like it goes up to a level 7 yet. Everything that 6 is completed. So, but that's good to know that there is going to be a level 7 on these ships, though. So, looking forward to that. Base ship rank requirements are going to be kicking in as well. Throughout year 1, the content was constantly being balanced. They're now going to have a different tier of world, so they have to keep rebalancing and reducing the weapons damage and stuff, which is going to be awesome. I know that's what my biggest gripe is. Every time you finally build an ultimate ship, they'd bring something else and then they would nerf your weapons and stuff. So they're going to stop doing that. They're going to make it so that if you want to play with the big boys, you got to have a big ship. But yeah, so you're looking at 7 ship upgrades now. Base remaining damage of all ships will be increased by 20% once they're upgraded to level 7. The manufacturer production diversifications are going to be something that you can actually change up quite a bit now. It's going to be a little more diversified. Looks like, what's this thing here? There's going to be a Helm Empire upgrade tree instead of just books now, so that's going to be getting revamped. Smuggler's Pass is going to, for every 1,000 smuggler points earned, you will be getting a smuggler's chest, which would be cool. So once you complete your 90, every time you get 1,000 spoken points, you're actually going to start earning something now instead of just, like before where you get a token that doesn't do anything. We're looking at some new enhanced repair kits. The cooldowns are going to change on all your repair kits. Long guns are changing, torpedoes are changing as far as damage and stuff. Again, depending on which tier world you're in. But I'm going to stop the video here and we'll pick this back up after the update comes out, guys. Looks like we're looking at some UI, UX updates on the ships. Hopefully a lot of bugs will be fixed here too. Graphics and animations, so they're going to be doing some work on that as well. But yeah, it's looking promising, everybody. So we will see you on the other side of the reset. Hope everyone has a wonderful day.